Welcome back, boils and ghouls. Boobies. Tits, knockers, breasts, tits, boobies. I'm sorry, was that random? Well, now you know the experience of watching this movie. End of review. No, I won't do that to you. I promised you a proper review to Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers, and I am going to deliver that for you. Even if this is barely a proper movie. The first Sleepaway Camp only got middling reviews, as I mentioned in the last review. But it was still a slasher movie in the 80s, and they pumped those out back then the way that they pump out superhero movies nowadays. So, of course, in 1988, Sleepaway Camp got its sequel, with absolutely none of the original cast attached to it. The only returning character for this movie is Angela, and even she isn't played by the same actress from before. It might be worth noting that Felissa Rose did actually read for the role, but two things got in the way of her being cast. One, she was preparing to go off to college at the time. And two, apparently Felissa Rose just didn't deliver the comedy that they were going for with this movie. Yep, this movie is not only a sequel to an 80s slasher movie, it's also a horror comedy. Could it get any more cliche than that? Oh, that's right. It also has more boobies on screen than a porno. So who is playing Angela this time around anyway? Pamela Springsteen. Don't recognize that name? Well, what if I put this completely arbitrary picture on the screen right now? Yep, Sleepaway Camp 2, most memorable for having Bruce Springsteen's sister in it. But is that really fair to say? Well, let's get into the movie now and see. So it opens up on a group of campers gathered around a fire while Mullet here tells everyone a scary story. You know how this scene goes, you've seen it before. Mullet's story is lame, so the one girl at the campfire decides to one-up him by telling everyone the plot to the first movie. It's at this point that, quite casually in fact, they decide to reveal what happened to Angela after the first movie. So of course, Angela got locked up in a mental institution and underwent all sorts of treatment. While she was there, the doctors even saw fit to allow Angela to transition. This is explained in the most terrifying line in the movie.
He went into a psycho ward a couple years ago. And while he was there, the doctors gave him a sex change, and our parents' taxes paid for it.
No matter what your politics are, you can find something to be horrified about in that sentence. It's at this point that Angela herself walks out of the woods to scold the girl telling the story. Yes, our slasher villain's reveal was really that casual. So nobody at camp is aware of her actual identity despite knowing her entire backstory. But Angela has actually gotten a job as a counselor here. And she takes her job very seriously. As in, if you're caught misbehaving, then she is going to kill you. Very quickly. Before delivering a completely nonsensical punchline that barely relates to anything that's going on. For instance, let's return to the girl that told the story, Phoebe. Apparently, she pissed Angela off because this campfire was supposed to be boys only. And if there's one thing Angela hates, it's a slut. How dare you talk to boys, Phoebe? You deserve exactly what is coming to you. Bludgeoned with a stick to the head before Angela very casually cuts her tongue off. Okay, so the one thing you're gonna note about this movie is that there are a lot of deaths, and most of them are super casual. Like, I don't know how you can kill people casually, but, here we are. Do you remember the death scenes from the first movie? How there were fewer of them, but they were all pretty creative, and the camera lingered on the special effects just long enough so that you could fully grasp the brutality of the thing. In this movie, most of the deaths are just, stab and then move on. It's the wham bam thank you ma'am of death scenes. No foreplay, no cuddling, just, done and then get out. And the worst part is, Angela kills so many people that this movie needs a large cast just to provide the body count. And what that means is, we have too many characters to spend any amount of time with them. So when they die, I don't really care. You'll see more of what I mean in a little bit. For now, the opening scare is out of the way, so it's time to move on to the plot. So Angela is in charge of this cabin full of, fellow counselors. They all look to be about the same age as her, so they must be. Anyway, they're all waking up and boobs. Why? Don't ask, just boobs. In fact, there are a lot of boobs in this scene. This movie understands women so well. I know that when I hang out with my girlfriends, we all just walk around topless. But when I say girlfriends, I do mean that in a gay way. Yes, homo. This is sapphic paradise right here. But unfortunately, Angela shows up to straighten out the joint, telling one of the girls to put her shirt back on because
nice girls don't have to show it off.
Yeah, I guess nice girls don't have to show it off. But we can and we do if we want to. Anyway, people at camp notice Phoebe's disappearance, and Angela explains that she had to send her home because Phoebe was a massive slut. I'm not kidding. The official reason is that Phoebe was caught doing stuff with the boys that she shouldn't be. But the implication is clear that Phoebe can't play nice with the other boys and girls because she is a massive hoe bag. And because Angela was nice enough to rid the camp of fun, she gets named Counselor of the Week. And she gets to sing a children's song to what must be the most stoned group of 18-year-olds I've ever seen. And I went to public school. Seriously, they're all singing along and doing the hand gestures like this is the greatest fucking day of their lives. If this scene didn't go out of its way to prove that our final girl doesn't smoke weed, I would say that they were all high as hell.
So, Molly, do you get stoned?
No?
Good girl.
Yes, we do get a final girl for the evening. Molly. You won't realize that she's important until about halfway through the movie, because there are just so many characters. Molly has a boyfriend, Sean, and even though they are our protagonists for the movie, I wouldn't be able to tell you anything about them. Besides the fact that they're, nice. And of course, because this is a sleepaway camp movie, we have to have an evil slut, Allie. Honestly, half the time I'm not even sure if the character on screen is Allie or one of the other big-breasted, bitchy, blonde characters. All blondes look the same, that's all I'm saying. There are quite a few other characters, including TC, Uncle John, Mare, Rob, Demi, Leah, Brooke, Jody, Anthony, Judd, Charlie, Emilio, and Diane. No, I will not be going in depth to describe their personalities. Most of them don't even have personalities. Right now, we're just keeping things simple. Killer, final girl, boyfriend, evil slut. So anyway, final girl and boyfriend are just chilling by the pool when they suddenly get interrupted by evil slut getting thrown into the water while wearing a white t-shirt. Because boobs. Moving on, Angela walks in on two other campers smoking weed. Poorly, might I add, they don't even inhale. Not that I know anything about that. These campers get barbecued extra crispy. Well, that sucks. For them. Moving on. So back at the camp, the boys decide to conduct a panty raid on the girls' cabin. Guys, you're like 18. Surely this is old news by now. But the whole thing gets broken up by Angela, and everyone just listens to her. For some reason. Yeah, I guess her general prudishness is kinda scary. The boys clear out, but the girls still want to have fun. So the minute Angela leaves the room, the girls decide to raid the boys' cabin for jockstraps. Did people really still antagonize the other gender like this when they were 18? I'm an ancient swamp witch that stays young on the blood of virgins, so I want to know. During the jockstrap raid, one of the bitchy blonde girls pulls her shirt up. Because boobs. Angela walks in, gets pissed, pulls the bitchy blonde girl aside, and then kills her with a drill. Fascinating. Hey, when is the plot gonna kick in? So anyway, after that, we catch up with the final girl, who's sad because the evil slut is trying to hit on her boyfriend. Apparently, Angela is the one to go to about these matters, which makes absolutely no sense because she gives the worst advice. When final girl bemoans evil slut's obvious sexual experience, Angela responds by saying,
Which means that she probably has a disease or two.
and not to worry because boys like nice girls. Yes, because any woman who has ever had sex is just a bitchy petri dish in disguise. Honestly, Angela's hatred for sexually active women is a little intense. Are you sure you don't just need to get laid, honey?
I'm still a virgin. And I'm proud to be one.
Oh, there we go. Okay, plot. Okay, what do we have here? Angela catches a couple of boys with photographs of some of the girls changing. Because boobs. The boys try to scare Angela dressed as Freddy and Jason, which,
You almost broke my machete. Help me find my glove.
I have to admit, this Freddy vs. Jason movie was kind of weird. But oh, look! Leatherface got involved. That's neat. You know, I'm not sure about this casting for Leatherface. He's rather small. And female. We are halfway through this movie and I'm already trying to imagine us into a better movie. Okay, plot. Oh wait, we gotta take a sex detour first. Because boobs. Cuts to final girl crying to Angela again, this time because evil slut said something that was mildly rude to her. Final girl asks Angela what she thinks that evil slut is doing at the moment, and Angela responds by saying, probably fornicating, because all sluts do is have sex, right? Well, I mean, I guess I do have to be fair. That is what evil slut is doing the next time that we see her. Also, the best time to ask someone if they have AIDS is right after you finish fucking them. God, does this movie have a plot? Or a purpose? Or a reason to exist? But okay, Angela catches up to the evil slut. This is the one character in the movie that we know we're not supposed to like. And the evil slut in the last movie got raped with a hot curling iron. What's going to happen now? Well, we get a long, drawn-out scene of, Angela drowning her in the outhouse. Okay, I have some things to say. This is the most important death in the movie. That much is obvious. Well, every other death in the movie is quick and sort of casual. This one lasts a long time. And it's kind of uncomfortable. Why? Because Evil Slut didn't really, do anything. I mean, she had a lot of sex, and she taunted Final Girl in one scene, but that's about it. And based off those two things, we're supposed to take pleasure from her disgusting, torturous death. Honestly, think about Judy from the last movie. Judy got a brutal death, yes, but she also spent the rest of the movie being awful to everyone. She broke Ricky's heart. She bullied Angela. She hooked up with Peter just to make Angela jealous. She threw Angela into the lake when she knew she had a phobia of water. The whole movie was just a constant reminder of how terrible Judy was, so that you might actually take a sick sort of pleasure out of her death. But here, I'm not mad at Evil Slut for being sexually active. So this death scene isn't what I'd call fun. It just kind of makes me feel bad for sluts everywhere. You know what, sluts? You get such a bad name and you deserve better. Justice for Sluts 2K19. So anyway, plot. Angela strangles a camper with a guitar string. Woot. Angela stabs another camper. Oh no. Then Angela goes to sleep and...
Than I thought.
Well, come on. Do I have to watch the whole movie again, but slowed down in blue? Did the movie just need extra padding? Does this dream sequence signify anything? Okay, plot. So Angela gets fired because too many girls from her cabin have gone missing. Final Girl convinces her boyfriend to join her in cheering Angela up, and...
He reminds me of this boy that I knew when I was about your age.
Huh. She must be referring to Peter there. Peter from the last movie, where Angela was supposed to be 14 years old. Wait, these people are supposed to be 14 years old? Hey, you remember how the last movie cast age-appropriate actors and made them act like actual kids? Well, this movie decided to go in the exact opposite fucking direction. Wait, does that mean that Evil Slut was 14 years old and she was banging half the camp? Fuck, I hadn't even had my first kiss by the time I was 14. And, wait. All of these boobs? Are these supposed to be 14-year-old boobs? Is this guy's chest hair supposed to be 14-year-old chest hair? My brain is melting. I have no idea what this movie is. Where the fuck am I? I'm not okay right now. Somebody send help. Okay, so now I have to finish the review knowing that I just watched a whole movie of 14-year-olds having sex. And fuck, showing their boobs. I guess that explains why they were all so cheerful and easily amused. They're literally children. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? Okay, anyway. So, Final Girl and boyfriend find out that Angela is the killer, so she kidnaps them and holds them hostage in her cabin full of corpses. and just generally acts like an adorable little psycho. I am going to say this, I do like what they were at least going for with Angela's personality. I don't know if they always succeeded, but they turned her into this upbeat, squeaky clean conservative woman who just happens to commit violent murder in her spare time. It's like watching a church mom snap and kill a bunch of kids. I'm kinda into it. And I'll also admit that Pamela Springsteen delivers what is probably the best performance in the movie. Not that that's hard to do, but you know. So anyway, boyfriend gets his head chopped off. Final girl almost escapes and then dies from a fall from the world's shortest cliff while Angela is chasing her. Angela apparently returns to the camp and off-screens everyone to death. We find this out when a character that we've never met before returns to the camp and gets killed by Angela. If it sounds like the movie is inventing characters out of nowhere and then disposing of them quickly, you'd be right. At this point, the final girl wakes up because, surprise, surprise, the world's shortest fall didn't kill her. But the movie ends with her running into Angela one last time. And that's the end. So kids, what did we learn today? Well, I learned that if you don't have a script or competent actors or even really an idea behind your movie, you can just keep throwing boobs on the screen and no one will notice. So, final thoughts. I'm not going to sit here and call this movie a complete waste of time. Pamela Springsteen actually does do a decent job with the role. I just don't think that the script was funny enough to counterbalance all of the mean-spiritedness behind it all. More than anything, this feels like a movie that a robot would write. If you sat the robot down and tortured it by forcing it to watch 80 slasher movies. You've got your final girl, you've got your bad puns, you've got your deaths, you've got your slut-shaming. But this movie doesn't seem to fully grasp what made all that stuff fun. So it's all just here because it has to be. It's a slasher sequel, so what else are you gonna do with it? If you have a friend who really wants to see it for some reason, there are worse ways that you could spend an hour and a half. But if all you want to see is boobs, then I could recommend a few pornos with better acting and more heart put into it. Not to mention ones that don't come with all the uncomfortable politics of having 18-year-old actors playing naked 14-year-olds. Seriously, what the fuck is up with that? If you'll excuse me, I have to go blind myself with bleach now. But before I go, make sure to join me next time because unfortunately, they made more of these.